sure we've got sound.
That scan's going to go on in as well. That one double. Can we just kill these for the moment? I can bump the brightness up if you want. No, just a tad. I'm not sure if we just like double what we got. That's full brightness. So split the difference between that and what we had before. I had it there before. Yeah. That's full. So about. Yeah. Yep. That's good. We are both in the same channel, aren't we? Maybe actually a little bit more because it's important to see. Maybe open the barn doors a bit. There we go. Yeah, the wide low side one. A little bit more. We've got to remember the sunstroke comes by as well. Happy? If you can, yeah, that's great. Okay. We'll see how that looks. This is what it's done. Turn these lights. Bring the brightness on sunstroke. Get a nice crop shot. Right, this one should. Right, we've got an issue. That back up there is being correct. Actually, I think it's because there's other channel. Oh yeah, there's a channel that's got medleys still. Which one are you talking about? The one I just put up. Give me a second. I think it's on the one now. It's fine, we've got quarter of an hour, we're like 8. As long as the pre-stream's live, people will...
Yeah.
Because slowly it'll start sending notifications out, so people will hopefully be here for the start. That's the idea. You should always go 15 minutes before you actually go live on the pre-stream. On the Twitch. Oh, that's why it did say this fucking channel.
If we start overrunning, let me know. In terms of time.
Well, how can we go from...
Because I was kind of thinking about 90 minutes, but I'm not kind of...
Well, go for however long you want. If you've got enough material and you want to do a bit of chatting, then carry on.
Yeah, I'm happy to have a chat, but it's...
Because normally our Saturday nights don't finish till about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, of course.
When I'm there.
And actually, if you tell me, are you able to see kind of communications on Facebook and stuff?
Yeah.
You shout out stuff like somebody requests.
Yeah.
If anybody's got a request or something, then just shout out to me.
Hey Dan. What?
Cool, that's lovely.
That's why I brought that extra stand for a bit of front light. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting these up. Right, let me I'm trying to get off the TV, but actually the TV soaks it in quite nice. Yeah. That better? How much are you still getting his head? It's because it's so high. That would be handy for the video show.
I can see a reflection of myself in the back of your screen.
Well, there will be some bars when I get the bar up. But for now, that's good news.
One of the best things live was... One of the best things live, seeing Hank in concert, was... He's on stage, you know, maybe it's the start of the show, somewhere toward the start of the show, and he's darting around, walking around the stage, and you can see the reflection of his guitar shooting the spotlight back at the audience and like all around the walls of the theatre and stuff. Yeah, it's quality. It was like you could just see the little glint of it just shining.
Smoke, yeah.
It was beautiful. There was never any obvious smoke. You've seen the bootleg, haven't you? You've seen the. There was never any obvious smoke. It was just a haze to show the beams. What's that?
High five. 10 out of 10% in like dead center where Mixer was. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Come on.
Right.
Have you got colour correction filter in? No, don't be so silly. They're meant for nightclubs. The most I can do is like... Oh, I haven't seen is your acoustic guitar.
Ooh, bollocks.
Yeah,
that would help. And also, it would help. Am I basically expecting to hear my sound now?
Yeah,
I was wondering why is my unexpected sound? Yeah, you monitored that. reverb as well, because this is just transmitting dry to my receiver, which is in your iPhone. Morning all. I've never done a live before. Let's see how this goes. We've got a few instrumentals, a few songs that, you know, just back through the decades, as my poster says, on my pub gigs and whatever. A lot of you won't know me singing and, you know, playing a lot of the stuff, but a lot of people will know me as for playing the Shadows stuff. We're going to start off with an instrumental, a classic. It was a big number one, the first number one by a British group in America. We're kicking off with the Tornadoes and Telstar. Telstar. Right, let's try a vocal. Let's get straight in, get the momentum going. Back to 1961, and it doesn't get heard a lot in terms of classic rock and roll, but I think it should do. It's a brilliant little tune. Written by Hank Marvin and Bruce Welch, I think. I think they wrote it on a plane, but I might be wrong about that. Goes a bit like this. Bit of reverb if we can.
Who's that walking down the street, picking up those dainty little feet? Who's the one who catches my eye every time she passes by? Gee whiz, it's you. Ever since we said goodbye, all because of a little white lie. Let me tell you why we parted. Let me tell you what my heart said. Gee whiz, it's you. You're the one that makes me blue. Gee whiz, it's you. You're the one who you hear my plea? Won't you please come back to me? We can pick up where we started. Listen now to what my heart said. Gee whiz, it's you. Where we started. Listen now to what my heart said. Gee whiz, it's you. Gee whiz, it's you. Gee whiz, it's you.
There we are. Gee whiz, it's you. I love that little song. I've been performing that with bands and solo for years now, and it never gets old. Right. I said hello at the start, but I guess I'll say hello officially. How many people have we got with us? Anybody?
Got 25 on Facebook and a few on YouTube.
We've got 25 on Facebook and a few on YouTube. That's quite a good start, isn't it? Wow. Evening, everybody. Lovely to be with you, even if we can't be together in person. But then again, I guess this is different because I'm guessing we're bringing people from all over the place, whereas if we're doing a show anywhere, you can only really go where you're local. I mean, there are some, I don't want to insult you and say foolish people, but I'll say there are some foolish people who have travelled quite decent distances to be with me, either with a Shadowing Hank show or just to come along and be with me, on my smaller, well, I say smaller, my general guitar show, as I call it, which is kind of basically what this is tonight. This isn't a Shadows show all the way through. This is going to be bits and pieces all over the place. A lot of which, I haven't performed for quite a long time because, of course, we've all been in lockdown for so long. I've lost all my music work. I don't want to harp on about it. Actually, I might harp on for a second. There is a link on YouTube if you're able to open up maybe another window if you like what you're seeing. Today I've started up a GoFundMe page, which I think a lot of musicians and performers are doing at the moment. If you're able to, click on the GoFundMe page, and if you're happy to, donate some money just so I can maybe possibly pay for the next tank of fuel or even not have to take my car off the road. Sorry, I won't sound as though I'm turning myself into a charity. You'll drop a link in chat. Thank you, Jamie. Right. We are moving on then to something a little bit out of the norm for what, as I say, a lot of people are used to me playing. We're moving forward to 1972. Just get my settings sorted. Right. Let's see how this goes. Back to 1972, and I don't know why I'm nervous. It's weird. I'm feeling a bit nervous. We've had a couple of requests. Oh, goodness. Is that from your dad? I'm sorry, Alan, I've never played Quartermaster's Stores.
James Solomon, the theme from Deer Hunter.
Oh, okay.
Cricket Bat Boogie or Chi-Ma.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
And there's also a bit of Gee Whiz It's You written by Marvin/Samuel.
Marvin Samuel, was it? Oh, okay. I was wrong about a bit of Shadows history. That's embarrassing, yeah. Right. Let's crack on with, as I say, something a little bit out of the norm. Written by a brilliant musician. Just wet the whistle a little bit. I'm going a little bit dry. It's on the music page. Written by a great musician called David Gates. A little group called Bread recorded this. Just to be self-indulgent, this is called The Guitar Man.
draws the crowd and plays so loud, baby, it's the guitar man. Who's gonna steal the show? You know, baby, it's the guitar man. He can make you love, he can make you cry. He will bring it down, then he'll get you high. Something keeps him going, miles and miles a day, to find another place to play. Night after night, who treats you right, baby, it's the guitar man. Who's on the radio, you go listen to the guitar man. Then he comes to town, and you see his face, and you think you might like to take his place. Something keeps him drifting, miles and miles away, searching for the songs to play. Then you listen to the music, and you like to sing along. You want to get the meaning out of each and every song. Then you find yourself a message and some words to call your own and take them home. Seems to know what it is that makes him go. Then the lights begin to flicker and the sound is getting dim. The voice begins to falter and the crowds, they're getting thin. But he never seems to notice, he's just got to find another place to play. Get away. Got to play. The Guitar Man. Love that record. Two little cock-ups in that, sorry. Entirely forgot the words to, what was it, kind of the last bridge or whatever it was. And then, the first solo, sorry about that. Like I said, I haven't played some of these tunes for quite a while, so you'll have to kind of forgive me. Right, what are we going to do? We're going to go back to the early 60s, 1960 itself, I believe, and this was recorded, this was, I believe, the first single release by one of the all-time greats. Let me get rid of my my echo and get a little bit of a rhythm guitar sound. Mr. Roy Orbison. Dum, 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 the lonely know the way I feel tonight. Only the lonely know this feeling ain't right. There goes my baby, there goes my heart, they're gone forever, so far apart. But only the lonely know why I cry. Only the lonely. Only the lonely know the heartaches I've been through. Only the lonely know I cry, cry for you. Maybe tomorrow a new romance, no more sorrow, but that's the chance you gotta take if your lonely heart breaks. Only the lonely.
Roy Orbison. Nearly.
Do you want to put that fan on in a second?
No, I'm all right.
Or is it not?
No, I'm all right. I don't need a fan. It's not actually too hot in here.
Smoking right.
Back to instrumentals in a second.
Looking forward to the high bit at the end of this one, Neil Thomas.
Yeah, Neil Thomas. Yeah, hi Neil, how are you? Yeah, looking forward to the high bit. So was I. Sorry about that. Nearly. I told you, I'm feeling nervous. This is weird. I'm feeling more nervous doing this to just a room with two other people, a bit of a distance away. We're all socially distancing. Two people in here other than me, and that's it. And I'm feeling more nervous doing this than I am walking into a pub or a fairly packed social club or something. There's always the energy. When I'm doing the Hank Marvin show, there's always the energy, but I'm always usually running around right up till the last minute, and so I don't really get time to be nervous. But for this, for some weird reason, I'm kind of feeling all jittery. It's really weird. But I guess I'm like that with recording as well. Red light syndrome. As soon as the red light goes on to record, I go to pieces. You're nervous as well? Yeah. It's still got to be good. Yeah. We're trying to recreate this atmosphere of a gig. Can they hear you through this mic any chance? Or is this very unlikely they can hear you?
No,
they can't. We're saying everybody here is almost kind of a little bit on edge because we've not actually done anything. So the sound guy and also our lighting guy, we've got Dan and Jamie, and we're all kind of really enjoying it just because it's the first chance to actually do what we do for weeks. So, yeah, we're trying to kind of recreate a little bit of a show. This is actually the biggest kind of production I've done with this show, I guess, because the only time I go out with any real production is with the Hank Marvin show. Anyway, we're going to get on, not with Hank, but with Jet this time. I loved playing with Jet Harris. He was a real hero. This is a little tune you might remember. If I can remember how to play it, let's see. I've played this on a couple of big stages. Scarlett O'Hara. Oh, try again. Scarlett O'Hara. I love that record. Brings back some good memories of playing that with Jet Harris. Now, I can say this now, as I say it on my gigs, you don't expect to hear this one. Doing something for guitarists. This is, unless we get into kind of the, I want to say the word clangy comes to mind, and it's, maybe it's not the right word, but I'm going to use it anyway because I can't think of a better one. This sort of guitar sound, or at least using the bridge pickup for guitarists, the bridge pickup of a guitar to play for rhythm is usually, we don't do it, usually we use the neck pickup and it's nice and mellow. Or as Bruce uses, the middle one. We're actually using the bridge pickup today for this one, which I think was a #1 hit back in 1961. Get that galloping rhythm going for a little classic by a great singer, John Layton. Johnny, Remember Me. Bit of reverb on the voice, not too much, but a bit more reverb on the voice.
When the mist is rising and the rain is falling and the wind is blowing cold across the moor, I hear the voice of my darling, the girl I loved and lost a year ago.
Here she comes.
Well, it's hard to believe, I know, but I hear her singing in the sighing of the wind blowing in the treetops way above me. Yes, I'll always remember till the day I die. I'll hear her cry, Johnny, remember me. Well, someday I guess I'll find myself another little girl to take the place of my true love. But as long as I live, I know I'll hear her singing the sighing of the wind blowing the treetops way above me. Yes, I'll always remember until the day I die. I'll hear her cry, oh Johnny, remember me.
Johnny, remember me. Sorry about the chord sequence on that. That's another blank. Somebody's keeping note, I'm sure, of all the little cock-ups.
Everybody's saying it's sounding great tonight.
Everybody's saying it's sounding great? Thank you, folks. Hello, folks. You're right. Who was that? Sorry, who says hello?
That was Steve Parrish.
Steve Parrish. Hi, Steve. How are you?
And Val John Chick said, hi Justin, met you at the Glen on my auntie's 90th birthday.
Oh, yes. Hi, how are you? Right. I'm not sure who's, yes, saying hello to Val and John. Val and John. Hi, Val and John. How are you? And also, who did we say? We said Steve. Steve Parrish. Shane Solomon. Hi, Shane. Bernard O'Hara. Yep. Hi, Bernard. Ken Priest is with us. I owe a huge debt of thanks to Ken because I'm one of those unlucky guys who's got no budget at all. I keep me going on about how little money I've got. And I'm trying to run, a show, or two shows of varying sizes, of two different sizes, and everything keeps breaking down on me. Ken has given me a mixer, thankfully, so because that has kind of saved me over the last year plus now. So thank you very much, Ken. That's helped me be able to kind of carry on without having to panic and getting things repaired or having to spend money on replacements and stuff. Ken has very kindly given me a mixer. So, although we are using all the kind of the big professional stuff here tonight in this little studio lockup.
Wendy Beaton says, say hello to Janet.
Of course, hello Janet. Say hi to Roy as well when you see him. I guess you haven't seen him for quite a while, but yeah, hi Jen, hi Wendy, and hi Janet. Yeah, I like this. Kind of getting in touch with everybody. It's brilliant. This is, like I said at the start, if anybody who's actually kind of live with me at the very start, I've never done this before. I've never done live, so this is kind of nice and, it's going to take time to get used to, which is why there are so many cock-ups early on, but hopefully we'll really relax into it. At some point, I might take off the jacket, although it's only just a T-shirt underneath. Sorry. But who cares? What do I say? I take the jacket off, and then they go, more, keep going, don't stop there. I tend to say, well, I can keep going if you like, but then it becomes a different show and you've got to pay me more money.
So I'll take my boxer off and shoot at you.
No, you won't. Don't want any underwear thrown at me at all tonight, thank you. Right, especially not yours. Right, what are we doing? I can't see. We are, but we're going to do something else first. We are going to do something, if I can remember how to do it. This is going to be full of muck-ups, so let's get this out of the way. Let's get this. If I've got the backing track here, yes I have. Oh grief, I'm committed to it now. Right, so this is a punchy little instrumental, fun little rock and roll instrumental from, I guess, when was this? The 70s Shads era. I forget which album this was on. It's called Cricket Bat Boogie. I think this was Bernard who asked for this, was it? Cricket Bat Boogie, Bernard. We're going to start that again because I want to change the level of it, and also that was completely hashed. It's live. Cricket Bat Boogie. Thanks for that, Bernard. I'll get you back for that. I haven't played that in months and months and months. Not just 2 months. I haven't played that in a long time. Well, that's purely down to memory. And once upon a time, I used to practice 7 days a week. Nowadays, it's little performances here and there, but it's kind of, there's certain things that you just don't think about playing, and they kind of drop off the edge of the list. I'm guessing anybody else who's a gigging musician kind of knows that. You have a little repertoire which just slowly evolves. And then 5 years down the line, you go, oh my goodness, I haven't played that for ages. Right, what are we going to do? We are going back to the set list. I don't usually do this, but just for the fluency, I thought I'd actually put a set list together tonight. So we're going back to 1959, and as I did near the start of the show with Gee Whiz It's You, I'm singing along with myself, because I recorded my own voice on the backing track for this ages ago. It wasn't a harmony piece at all, but it worked well as a harmony piece, and the Shadows did this as a harmony piece for years, I think, but there's live footage of them performing it in Liverpool in 1989. Let's try this. A bit of reverb on my voice, please, fellas. My voice is the first thing we hear on this track, apart from the clicks in. Buddy Holly, True Love Ways.
Just you know why you and I will by and by know true love ways. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we'll cry, and we'll know why. Just you and I know true love ways. Throughout the days, our true love ways will bring us joys to share with those who really care. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes sometimes we'll cry, and we'll know why. Just you and I know true love ways. Throughout the days, our true love ways will bring us joys to share with those who really care. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we'll cry, and we'll know why. Just you and I know true love ways.
Buddy Holly, great songwriter. This next song is a Buddy Holly song, although I don't think he wrote this one. Get my rhythm sound back. I think, providing she's watching, then this one's for Amy, although I don't like doing this one for Amy, because she calls it the breakup song, and it's not great when your girlfriend asks for the breakup song. Listen to the word, you know what I mean. It's pretty unnerving. You can be in a pub or a social club or something, and you've got your girlfriend near the stage somewhere, you know, kind of sitting with friends or something, and then all of a sudden she'll just say, play the breakup song. Thanks very much. I've got to find the backing track. Here we go.
There you go, baby, here am I. Well, you left me here so I could sit and cry. Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Do you remember, baby, last September, how you held me tight each and every night? Well, whoops-a-daisy, how you drove me crazy. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. I've thrown away my nights, wasted all my days over you. Now you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, and baby, you'll stay with her, and you won't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. I've thrown away my nights, wasted all my days over you. Now you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever to the end of time, I'll find somebody new, and baby, we'll stay with her, and you won't matter anymore. You won't matter anymore.
Buddy Holly, it doesn't matter anymore. classic Shadows now then. It's about time we played a proper classic Shadows tune. You can smoke me out as much as you like. No, it's not. That's not an innuendo, thank you very much. I've got to remember, I've got to repeat some of the stuff you say. Because people can't hear you. Oh, I want another microphone on you guys. No, if you say anything that I want overheard, I'll repeat it back to them. Right, lovely tune. Now, one of my favourites to play, and by all accounts, one of Hank's favourites to play as well. 1963. I think it was a #2 hit, although it easily should have been a #1. I'm not sure who held them off the #1 spot, but I guess it was probably the Beatles. I think the Beatles had landed by the time this one had been released. An incredible composition. Some of you were already there. Classic Shadows. Atlantis. Hang on, we're going to go a little bit louder on the backing track there. It's an amazing piece of music, that. Atlantis. Any other requests? Or anybody else anybody telling me I'm rubbish? Plenty of them, I expect. Thank you, Bernard. Who did? Shane. Okay, thank you, Shane. Oh, we used to have... That was my first connection with the Shadows community. I wasn't able to get to Bruce Welch's show at the Yeovil Octagon Theatre. I think it was 2003. Possibly 2002, I'm not sure. And I stuck my head around. Basically, I turned up at the theatre and gate crashed the last few tunes. Nobody was around in the theatre. And I just snuck in and kind of watched. I'd never seen Bruce in the flesh before. I couldn't quite see Cliff Hall around the corner from my position right at the side in the little vomitorium, as I think they call it. But I'd never seen Bruce. And there they were on stage and playing something like Equinox. And Bruce came out afterwards and met him and whatever. But the people there, Leo's Den, the guys who actually aren't too far away from here, they supply the whole world with Cliff and the Shadows merchandise and CDs and backing track CDs for us guitarists and all sorts. They're very well known within the Shads and the Cliff community. And they were there selling their wares at Bruce's show. And I picked up this little leaflet, the You Play Shadows Day, for guitarists like me. I thought, what? There's a whole community of these people? And I discovered that night, backing tracks. It was amazing. I discovered, there was this world that I could throw myself into. And, there were people that understood me as opposed to all the kids at school who didn't get me. But it was brilliant. So I went off to the Bristol You Play Shadows Days, and I don't think I missed one between that time and when they finished doing it, which was a fair few years ago now. But you're right, Ken, I do miss those days. I miss the days of just getting the Shads community back together in general anyway. I've not been to a Shadows event since my Shadows Fix show up in the Midlands, which was in 2013, which 7 years ago. It's terrifying. Let me, again, just wet my whistle. But yeah, no, if I ever get a chance to do it, hopefully we might be able to resurrect something and maybe resurrect the Shadows Fix idea. It's always in the back of my mind, but life takes over and you just never really get a chance to do anything and get what you want achieved. Right, what are we doing next? Ooh, we're going grand now. I'll bend down in a minute just to change my echo level on the pedal in front of me. I've been recording little pieces to camera every now and again, and this is one of the tunes actually that I have already recorded for my lockdown sessions, but I love this one. It belongs in a set like this. So we are going back to the 80s. Can we have a touch, not too much, but just a touch, maybe more reverb on the guitar? Yeah, okay, let's try this. Nope, wrong track, sorry. These mist-covered mountains are home now for me, but my home is the lowlands, and always will be. Someday you'll return to your valleys and your farms, and you'll no longer burn to be brothers in arms.
these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire. I've witnessed all your suffering as the battle raged higher. And though they did hurt me so bad, in the fear and alarm, you did not desert me, my brothers in arms. There's so many different worlds, so many different suns, and we have just one world, but we live in different ones. Now the sun's gone to hell, and the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell. Every man has to die, and it's written in the starlight. And every line in your palm, we were fools to make war on our brothers in arms.
done a video loop. Ooh, we have visual feedback. Fun. Gone Bohemian Rhapsody on me. That is a brilliant piece of music, one of my favourites. The backing track, just as a weird bit of information, the backing track of that didn't have that last little chord on the end of it. So about, I don't know, just prior to making the video that I made, which went onto YouTube in the last couple of weeks, I thought, no, we need a proper concert ending on that, just something subtle, so I kind of just threw that together. I don't know exactly how it matches, and there'll probably be sound engineers or audio technicians or, you know, producers or whatever who tell me I've done something wrong, but it's a little bit rushed, I guess, but I don't know any better. Never been given any training. I'll shut up and get on with it, shall we? Thank you. Right. Can we have a touch more treble on my guitar sound, please? And I think we've got enough reverb on that. You might be able to guess what we're doing. This is a bit hairy because I've not done this in ages either, so let's see how this goes, all right? This is a bit scary. We're in dire Straits zone, so by hearing that sound, you might be able to guess. How much have we turned up? I'm guessing we were on flat before, weren't we? On treble. How much to? If it was 12 o'clock, where are we now? Cool. Perfect. I just want a little bit extra treble boost, that's all right. I haven't yet got around to doing anything kind of to change my tone on my guitar. Haven't got any pedal for that yet. Right, let's try this one. Giving it all away. Let's get on with it. You get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park. Meantime, south of a river, you stop and you hold everything. Dixie, double 4 times. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. You step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Stick in the rain to hear the jazz go down. Competition is other places. It is the horns that blowing that sound. Way on down south in London town. Check out Guitar George, he knows all the chords. Big heat on the rhythm. Put me down and I completely forgotten the words. Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. He's got a daytime job. He's doing alright. He can play the honky-tonk like anything. He's saving it up for Friday night with the Sultans. With the Sultans of Swing. The crowd of young boys are fooling around in the corner, drunk and dressed in their best brown baggies and their platform soles. Don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call a rock and roll. At the Sultans,
the Sultans, they're playing Creole. Steps right up to the microphone and says at last, just as the time bell rings, good night, now it's time to go home. And he makes it fast with one more thing. We are the Sultans. We are the Sultans of Swing. There we are, Songs of Swing. Nearly, anyway. One of those tunes, like I said, I keep making my excuses in advance. Right, we're going to do something a bit experimental now. Well, I am. Just going to change my setting entirely for the echo. We had no echo at all on that last track. I'm going to do some weird stuff. This is actually a tune by a great, great guitarist, but I'm probably going to try and evoke a different guitarist with the weird little intro. I'm going to just try and do something a bit experimental on this first little section of this before I actually start the backing track. What are you two sniggering about?
The auto captions on Facebook. Hilarious. Entirely for the echo.
Say again?
The auto
Entirely?
It's just like, I'm just reading it. Entirely for the echo.
Entirely for the echo.
To do some weird stuff, this is actually a tune by a great guitarist, but I'm probably going to try and evoke different guitars with the way that I'm just going to do Anthemic.
Oh, you're reading the automatic subtitles. Stop distracting me.
No, somebody's got to. Shut up.
Right.
I can press the magic yes button if you want.
The magic yes button,
Yes.
which is not to actually turn this. Careful.
That's the magic yes button.
No thanks. Right.
Right, what's up next, Justin?
This bit of experimentation, really. We're doing this on the fly. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm just going to try and create a little lead into the tune before I start the backing track. And then we've got a bit more faffing after the backing track finishes, where I've created another little bit of a weird ending, which I haven't brushed up on this. I haven't improved on the ending I created years ago for this track, basically. It's again, like Brothers in Arms, it didn't have a proper concert ending on the track, so I kind of made my own years ago, and I listened to it the other day, and it sounds a bit ropey, but I'm still using it, so.
Let's see how it sounds.
Thank you. Do you like that? Thank you. That was a little tune called Last Horizon. No guesses which guitarist recorded that? Let me have a guess. You're looking it up. Can't you tell from the guitar sound?
It's probably like I'm guessing it's a...
Can't you tell from the guitar sound? If Jamie doesn't know. If anybody can tell who recorded that.
We have to wait 30 seconds for him to reply.
I know. It's a brilliant tune. It was recorded in the early 1990s, that one. It was Brian May. Who got it right first?
Google. Yeah.
Google got it right first. No, who got it right? Who?
No, you got the streams 30 seconds behind. Let's see your comments first.
Oh, I see. Oh, I thought you were reading the comments. You were looking it up yourself. I thought that it was some member from my, very knowledgeable audience. How many people have we got live at the moment? 27 on Facebook.
Steve Parrish got it first.
Steve Parrish got it first. Well done, Steve.
There's his stuff, Steve.
It's a great tune, that one. Not long after Freddie Mercury died, Brian May recorded his own album, and that was on it, apparently.
Bernardo Harris said Brian May, you plonker.
Brian May, you plonker. Yeah, that was aimed at you, you plonker. Right. Okay, we are changing things around now. I'm going to get rid of my Stratocaster, and I'm going to sit down. So bear with me. Usually on the Hank Marvin show, see, I've got somebody helping me with guitars, helping me on and off. It all looks very smooth, very swish. That's very wise of you, actually. Jamie's just said, I would help you with your guitars, but the whole 2-meter thing, we'd better not. So. Less awkward talking to me?
No,
Sorry, less...
Me talking to you makes it less awkward because you're actually got something to back up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamie's just said it's kind of a little less awkward in this setting if I've got somebody to talk to actually in the room as well as me talking to you guys on the camera. I don't know if it sounds rude or whatever, but I have been told that obviously kind of talking as a band in between each other, between band members talking amongst each other on stage in between tunes looks a bit messy, but obviously on a live stream like this, I don't know. What's it like?
How's the lighting on that, Dan? He's got old very quick. He's had to sit down. Reminds you of somebody else I know.
This is just something that I guess I've nicked this from Hank. He always sits down to play acoustic. Something a bit funny, forgive me. I'm going to give it a wiggle after turning off the... We've got enough reverb on that, haven't we? Yeah, we don't need too much on this one. Right, what I do in a pub or a club is obviously there's a lot more background noise. So as everybody's waffling away, I start the backing track in advance. But there's no waffling today, apart from you. So I'm going to have to start this backing track, and you're going to hear the little intro, which usually never gets heard, and I kind of cut it off because I just need a very quick little intro. You'll hear what I mean in a minute. Just to do a funny little intro of my own. How did the experimental guitar sound, by the way? Leave me a comment. How did the experimental guitar sound kind of at the beginning and at the end of that last tune, Last Horizon? I'm going to just wet my whistle. And
Just light you up a little bit. There's a nice cable across your face.
right. Now the intonation on this acoustic guitar is not great. So you'll have to forgive me if it doesn't sound absolutely perfect in tune, but I've tried my absolute best, and obviously in a live setting I'm not going to sit here and tune a guitar for ages in front of you because you'll just all go offline. So let's try this. We're going to go off to France.
1, 2.
There we are. That's the bit I need to cut off. Little spoken intro just to get you in time with the track. Right, let's try this.
2, 3, 4.
That's called Minor Swing. Thank you. Minor Swing. Now. Thank you. What type of microphone is this? Is this a supercardioid? Hyper? Hyper. So it won't pick up anything, will it, for you guys talking? You get to clap harder. Right.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. The null is actually at the side, so there's a little lobe at the back, but it won't pick us up.
It won't pick you up. Not even your applause.
Oh, well, yeah. Yes.
Make more effort. Right. Okay. Off to my favourite city.
Life goes on day after day. Hearts torn in every way. So ferry cross the Mersey, 'cause this land's the place I love, and here I'll stay. People, they rush everywhere, each with their own secret care. So ferry cross the Mersey and always take me there, the place I love. People around every corner, They seem to smile and say, we don't care what your name is, boy, we'll never turn you away. So I'll continue to say, here I always will stay. So ferry across the Mersey, 'cause this land's the place I love, and here I'll stay. Here I'll stay. Here I'll stay.
Ferry Cross the Mersey. I love that record. It is a classic. Right. A little tune that very few people have heard, unless you're a die-hard Shadows fan. I'm not sure what record this is from, what album this is from. I've got a feeling, I might be entirely wrong, I've got a feeling this was from the album 21 Today. Sorry, not 21 Today. Established 1958, I think, which was recorded in 1968, commemorating 10 years of Cliff and the Shadows. I play this on my gigs, and I don't tell people who recorded it, I just play it. I call this little spot my world tour when I sit down and play the acoustic, because most of it is, well, it's got links to different places. And, you know, we've been to France with a bit of gypsy jazz, and now we've been to Liverpool. And now with this one, we're off to Portugal. I'm glad they couldn't pick you up on the mic on that.
That's the whole point.
He's trying to do an awful attempt at a Scouse accent. That's awful. That is horrendous. Right. If I can see what I'm doing. It's all kind of... I had a bit of a practice over the last couple of days, just kind of running through some of these tunes, and it's weird because I'm not in a pub or... I keep saying that, pub or club, where there's all sorts of potential distractions, but you're kind of used to it. And now you get put into a very kind of, I'm not going to say sterile environment, but a very different environment where you've got only a couple of people in front of you. And there's all sorts of other distractions, including weird lighting and, you know, kind of it all just being, there's all sorts of different distractions which I'm now not used to. So, yeah, I've settled now. It's nice, but at the same time, just simply being able to see the fretboard and getting dazzled by the lights in front of me, and then trying to see the dot markers on the edge of the fingerboard to show me where my fingers are and what notes I'm playing. It's a bit blinding and a bit confusing. Right. Anyway, for anybody who hasn't guessed, you were saying, sorry. Behave. Right. I'm playing a little tune which is named after a region of Portugal. Alentejo. that's called Alentejo. We're going to go straight into this next one. For certain people out there, this one needs no introduction. Oh, I've decided to drink. Hang on. A tall, dark stranger, which has never been to Ireland, well, apart from when Hank was on tour. Hank Marvin wrote that back in about the year 2000, 1999, 2000 maybe. I think the plan was to go out on tour in 1998 and to play one of the big tunes from Riverdance. And he learned it, and his son learned it, Ben, and they did it as, I'm guessing, kind of a guitar duet thing. And he said, we could play it, according to an interview that I read, we could play it, but it was a bit of a challenge because it was really a violin thing and it was a very fast piece. So he said, we decided to scrap that because we would have just sweated over it too much every night. So we scrapped the idea and came back on the following tour with our own. They'd written that. So that was not written in Ireland, but in Australia, I'm guessing. Right, anyway. That's the end of the acoustic spot. Something a little bit different, just to add a bit of light and shade, that's all. Right, now, again, something a little bit different again. Stay there. You're not going anywhere, are you? Well, I mean, you can do, but please don't. Get rid of this guitar and grab the Strat again. When I mentioned that I was going to do a live stream, when I mentioned I was going to do this, I had a couple of requests, and actually, I don't know, I'm guessing the person, I'm hoping the person who requested Cavatina is still online, because I will slot it in somewhere, somehow. Just to get the right setting on this. Right, okay.
Don't know why.
Ooh.
I think he's
Help if I plugged in. I'm trying to tune up without actually plugging in. That would be very clever, wouldn't it?
He's hoping you're going to wait until he comes back.
Oh, I see, right.
That's not how live streams work. Pumps. Eats and pumps. Excuse me.
But no, I was given a request, kind of. A Facebook friend of mine I've known for years. We've never actually met, as far as I'm aware. Forgive me, Gary, if we have and I don't remember. But somebody that I've been in contact with for years on Facebook, Gary Allen, requested that I do something as a guitar instrumental, which has not as yet been done by Hank Marvin, or I'm guessing there have been guitar instrumental versions of this done by kind of players on YouTube and stuff, but I'm unaware of any official releases by anybody, certainly not Hank Marvin. Bit of trivia about the guitar. What about it?
Well, tell everybody about the lovely red guitar.
The lovely red guitar. To be fair, I wouldn't be playing the lovely red guitar if my other one was working, because this really now, I've kind of decided to keep the red guitar for the Hank Marvin show. And when I go out on my pub gigs, for a long time now, I've taken a lovely old relict, beaten up white 1961-62 reissue. It's a bit of a special guitar, actually. It was personally relict. It wasn't a relic out of the shop. It was personally relict. Somebody did a very good job on it. And I love that guitar, but it's been out of action for a little while. It needs new frets. It needs quite a bit of work done on it. So this guitar has been, once again, for the first time in a long time, this is my main number one regularly used guitar. It hasn't been for a very long time. This is my, I think, 2005 master build Fender Stratocaster, made by Yuri Shishkov. And weird little piece of information, the bridge assembly on this one is not original. It didn't come with the guitar. The original bridge assembly I do have still, but this, the chap who sold me this guitar was the chap who created the Easy Mute tremolo system, a chap called Ian St. John White. I'm not sure if he pronounces it St. John White. And he said, look, if we're going to do the tremolo job as Hank has it done, then I've only got one block that I can put on your guitar, because we're stripping out the first block, the original one. The only one I've got is a tremolo block that came off one of Hank's guitars when he switched to the 6-screw. So this is the tremolo block of this guitar actually came off one of Hank's guitars. And the tremolo arm, a few years before, I had actually bought, knowing that it had come off Hank's guitar from, it's actually, you can see footage of Hank playing with this tremolo arm on his number one guitar for the DVD of the Countdown concerts with Cliff Richard. This very tremolo arm, just to show off. Nothing, you know. Do I want to what? Plug the Shadowing Hank. Well, once we get going, good idea. Once we get going, when we're able to get back and meet together, then... Say again? Steve, oh, cool. Yeah, if anybody's unaware, I do a tribute show to Hank Marvin. I call it Shadowing Hank. And I had 22, 23 bookings in the diary so far this year, and quite a few more penciled in which were not confirmed. And of course, I've lost all but the first two of those this year. I don't know when we're going to be able to get back into the venues, into the theatres. But hopefully, at some point, we can meet up, whether it's maybe local to me where I'm doing this type of show, or whether it's in the theatres when I'm wearing a pair of glasses and a wig and all the makeup and doing the Hank Marvin thing. But if you've not seen it, go over to Facebook and to the Shadowing Hank. Just search Shadowing Hank on Facebook. You shared the shadowinghank.com link. Thank you. Oh, the .com link is just a holding page at the moment. We're kind of working on the website, aren't we?
Right, let's have a tune.
Let's have a tune. We've been talking for too long. This is a tune that Hank hasn't played, but I'm going to play it, I'd like to think, as the Shadows would have played it if they had recorded it, or if Hank had if Hank had played it, this is how it would have sounded.
What's it called?
This is called Ben. Oh, let's get rid of that, and sorry. Tis live. Thank you. Ben, love that. Can we, forgive me, I should have asked you, I forgot to ask you, can we drop the treble a little bit on the guitar now? Back to flat. Right. Right, we need to cheer things up a bit now, so... Back to my favourite city. Gotta find the backing track. Not used to it, see? It's live, but I'm just not used to doing this. You know, I haven't getting back into just working out, remembering where the backing tracks are and stuff. It should come second nature, but we're wiggling with lights. Shall I let you get on with it? I'll give you a second. It gives me a chance to, again, just have a swiggle. Flavoured water. We are, I said we were going back to my favourite city. A bit of rock and roll from my favourite city.
Just make excuses while I'm in the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Back here, I think. Still on. Back a bit more. Try like back as in backwards.
It's all very technical. It's all a bit unnecessary, isn't it? I could have done this at home, fellas. I'm really enjoying this. We good? Right. Get back to your lights. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I tell you something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Oh please, say to me, you'll let me be your man. And please, say to me, you'll let me hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that my love I can hide, I can hide, I can hide. Yeah, you got that something. I think you understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that my love I can hide, I can hide, I can hide. Yeah, you got that something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
Oh, thank you. Boo, thank you. I'm waiting for that. Right. Next. Let's try this. I'm going to risk it. I was wondering whether I should do this or not, but I'm going to. Is that all right? This could be a little bit of a risk. Because this is kind of on the edge of my vocal range. It's a bit too high for me, kind of, but I'm not changing the key. I'm just going to push it. I think I can reach it tonight. I'm not sure. I don't sing it particularly often. I used to sing this far more often, and I realised I was just stretching my voice too much. I'm going to try it tonight. This has kind of become a little bit of an anthem, not just for the people, or at least half the people of my favourite city, but it's also, I suppose, become a bit of an anthem for what we're currently going through, because this has been at number 1, a different version of this one recently. This is my version of the, in my opinion, the best version of this. My interpretation of this one. Sing with me if you like, please. I like that this song is kind of now, we've lost all the allegiances and all the kind of the rivalries over this, and everybody's come together under the banner of this song. Put your hands above your heads, grab a scarf if you've got one. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. Blue lights. And don't be afraid. That's more like it. Of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You never walk alone. Walk on, walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You never walk alone. Thank you. Whew, can you hear? It's just kind of, I'm just pushing it a little bit, but I love singing that one. When you're surrounded by 50,000 people all singing it together and nobody's got a voice anyway, it doesn't matter, you sound great collectively. But when you're exposed through one microphone, there's one person singing. Even in a pub, when you've got 30 or 40 people in front of you in a pub, it sounds great, and you know, people don't mind, but yeah, I was wondering whether to risk that one or not. Thank you. Right, can I play you, we're going to relax things again. I better squeeze in Cavatina. I'm guessing our person who, forgive me, you did mention the name, and I'm afraid I've forgotten. What's the time, by the way? 5 to 10. Are you sure? Is anybody getting bored? Have we lost any followers or anything like that? Talk for 30 seconds.
You're not supposed to say that. So what track are you playing?
We are now playing The Request, which is not on the list. So, we can have the theme from The Deer Hunter, Cavatina. I've never actually got through The Deer Hunter. I don't know, I'm guessing it's called a classic. I've tried to watch it a couple of times, and I can't get past the first half an hour. It's a bit like The Godfather. It's kind of very slow, and it takes a long time to really pick up the pace. And I haven't actually got to the point where they reach Vietnam. I'm guessing it all picks up then. But I've never seen it. But yeah, apparently it's a classic. It's got De Niro in it, for goodness sake, and Meryl Streep.
Bernard, it's a great job on You Never Walk Alone.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Cheers, Bernie. Yeah, it's great. It's a bit tricky to sing, but it's yeah, I enjoy it. Especially when, like I said, you've got a whole room of people all singing it back to you, and you can just kind of lead them with it. It's brilliant.
Wendy said one of Janet's favourites. Wendy Beaton.
One of Janet's favourites. You'll Never Walk Alone. Brilliant. I've been singing for Wendy and Janet. I've known Wendy and Janet for a few years now. It's brilliant. Yeah, always enjoy sharing music with people who really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me, because I'm guessing if you're here, it means you do appreciate it. But yeah, right. Okay, we're going to crack on. We've got our sound man back, so I'm going to play, as requested, the theme from The Deer Hunter, Cavatina. The theme from The Deer Hunter, Cavatina. Love that. Right, now I was slotting that one in as a request, so I've got another Shadows piece to play for you straight away. Is that all right? We are going to play, yes. Great piece of music. This is some of these tunes, even within the Shadows community, I've not had a chance to play these to a large audience, because when I was playing at Shadowmania with the Shadowers, and prior to that, the one performance I did at Shadowmania with the Foot Tappers as well, our set list was kind of selected for us, and of course all the big hits, I'm guessing, they were all selected for Bruce's band. Bruce selected kind of the biggest hits for his own band to close out the whole day. So something like Cavatina, I've not had a chance to play in front of a large audience. So I'm guessing there are a few people out there who haven't heard me play Cavatina. Although this one, there are videos of me playing this in terms of my my Shadowing Hank promotional videos and stuff. There's a couple of versions of me playing this one out there in the public domain now. Little live performance for you. 8 weeks at #1. Jerry Lorden's opus, in my opinion. Wonderful Land. Wonderful Land. Love that record. The beauty of the Shadows records. I've been talking about this online recently a little bit, in a couple of different places, and I tend to talk about it with people face to face all the time. But the Shadows had such a wonderful selection of melodies written for them. They were lucky enough to have them either written for them or they wrote them themselves. And we are missing melody now so much. Melody is missing from music in general. But I'm yet to hear, really, anywhere in modern music, I'm yet to hear any melodies which can compete with Jerry Lorden, the richness of Jerry Lorden's compositions. I think he was just incredible. Just the couple of times I've met Claudine, his widow, it's like kind of almost being able to kind of be in the same room or hold Bruce's guitar, the original Strat that Hank Marvin used for the records, because you're within touching distance of that greatness, I suppose. Claudine, of course, is such a big part of Jerry's life, but he was such a big part of the Shadows' success, Jerry Lorden. Massively underrated, and history doesn't recognize him in the way that they should, I don't think, the history of music. Maybe one day people will recognize it. Maybe people will realize how important melody is and realize, hang on, this little group called the Shadows, this chap Jerry Lorden, he wrote some great stuff for them. Anyway, what are we doing? We're really calming things down now. find the right setting. And I'm going to sing you a song which is taking us forward to, I think, 1989. Nice kind of washy reverb on the vocal on this. Not too much, but just, yeah. Kind of as it's been for kind of the bigger vocals, I guess. No slapback or anything, just a simple washy reverb. Right. Chris Isaac and a song called Wicked Game.
Was on fire and no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire can make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you, and I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. What a wicked game to play, to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, to let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say, you never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do, to make me dream of you. And I wanna fall in love. This love is only gonna break your heart. Now I wanna fall in love. This love is only gonna break your heart with you. Was on fire and no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire can make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you, and I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. With you.
Chris Isaac recorded that. People have tried to copy that and change it. It doesn't work. It's the simplest song in the history of music. When you talk about 3 chords, that's not even rock and roll 3 chords. That's just literally the same 3 chords going round and round in sequence. B minor, A, E. And that sequence stays the same all the way through. There is no variation at all, but it just works. The arrangement and the melody, the guitar part carries it. It's brilliant. It's a wonderful piece of music, that. It's wonderful. It's the production. It's the whole thing just came together perfectly. And like I said, you just don't touch it. Like, I would love to sing some of like Nat King Cole's stuff. I mean, When I Fall in Love. You could finish the record after When I, for that. When I Fall in Love. I wouldn't touch it. Only that one version of that works. There's certain tunes which just don't need to be touched by anybody. And that's one of them, in my opinion. Like, you can do a kind of I think you can probably, there's a lot of people who have done straight covers of that. And that's kind of not me copying the guitar part exactly. That's just kind of my interpretation. A lot of this is just my interpretation of stuff, because I don't want to kind of copy too much. On certain Shadows hits, I will, yeah. But with some of these things, you just kind of have to do your own version. Like, I mean, for example, Brothers in Arms. The solo from Brothers in Arms. That's my solo. And if you compare the solo I've played in Brothers in Arms for Brothers in Arms tonight to the version that I put up on YouTube a couple of weeks ago, they're pretty much the same. Because I've just developed the solo over time, and it's just kind of evolved with me, and it's become my, it's become my solo now.
So what we got next?
What have we got next? Ooh, we're going to do something else which was featured in a previous lockdown video again. A lockdown session. The very first one, in fact. I just thought we need to take things up a notch after Wicked Games, so I'm going to play The Rise and Fall, Flingle Bunt. The rise and fall of Flingelbunt, love that. A couple of little fluffs in there, sorry about that. Right. Any more requests? I'm guessing there's quite a long list of, well, we are kind of coming up to what will be the climax in a little bit, so. Anything in particular?
Just ignore it. You playing with tracks at the moment. What else we got from the start request-wise? I can't see them anymore. I'll see what
We're going to play.
I'll ask what you want after the next one, yeah?
Yeah. Just we're kind of starting to build. We got 3 more tunes for the night now. Ooh, I'm afraid I can't. Ooh. I can't do Sasha tonight. I haven't got the right stuff with me, unfortunately.
Man of Mystery?
Man of Mystery. Somebody requested Man of Mystery.
Bernard?
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Bernard.
Is that a hard one?
I'm only using a magic stomp on this, and unfortunately, I'm not very keen on the echo settings for some of the very early tunes from the kind of the Model 1 Echomatic that Hank used. I'm not very keen on the settings on the magic stomp. Nothing against Charlie Hall and the patches he created. They're brilliant, but just, there's something in the tonality of the magic stomp which I'm not very keen on. So I'm going to use a slightly different echo. So for the train spotters out there, anybody who's actually kind of really bothered about the guitar sound.
There's a couple more. Dad put Saturday Dance.
Oh, behave, Alan, right? Alan Overington wants Saturday Dance. Is that very likely, Alan? Do you think there's a backing track been made, Alan, for Saturday Dance? Do you think so?
Atlantis, if not already done.
Already done, I'm afraid. Well, not afraid. I'm glad I did it. But, I mean, I'm sorry you didn't catch it.
Ken Priest says, don't forget to thank Justin for playing live in my sitting room on my birthday.
Ken's birthday?
Ken Priest.
Oh, bless. All the best, Ken. Many happy returns.
Put a spot of Floyd. Right, let's play something.
We're going to play something. Right.
Man
Man of Mystery. Got to find the backing track. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Right. Right. There's still a ghost of Hank, because this is the Shadows without Hank. So there's still a ghost of him, so you might hear him. I've got to try and blend myself into it. I'll try to remove him as much as I can. Here we go. Man of Mystery. Shall we do it? Man of Mystery. Do you know what happened there? My string popped out of the nut a couple of times there, toward the end of that.
What's this say about
Yeah, I know. Can't blame the tool, can I, for this? Master built guitar.
On his Samsung Galaxy tablet. I asked what everybody's watching it on.
Oh, okay.
So I said, what's everyone watching this on? I think we have the best sound watching it live.
You got the best sound watching it live?
In here?
You think?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You got the best sound if you're watching the news.
We've had it asked. 3 people asked.
3 people ask. What, for the same tune? Ooh.
2 Pink Floyd, 1 Comfortably Numb.
Okay, right. Right, well, before we do anything, we better have a bit of rock and roll. So, just about as classic rock and roll as we get. And in a pub, you just need to kind of crack this out just to kind of really get everybody going. So this is usually after something like 500 Miles by the Proclaimers, which we are not doing tonight. That is an absolute kind of just a crowd pleaser to kind of, yeah, it's good fun to do it, but it's not up to the quality of maybe some of the stuff that's been written, which I've included tonight. So we're going to have a bit of classic rock and roll instead. Right, something like this.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, this dude like heaven made of earth and wood. We lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well. He could play the guitar just like a ringing a bell. Go, go, oh, go, Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go. Johnny be good. He used to carry his guitar in a gunny sack. Was sitting beneath the tree by the railroad track. All the engineers would see him sitting in the shade, strumming with the rhythm by the driver's maid. People passing by, they would stop and say, "Oh my, but that little country boy can play." Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. Johnny be good. His mother told him someday you would be a man, and you would be the leader of a bigger band. Many people coming from miles around to hear you playing music when the sun go down. Maybe someday your name will be in lights, saying, "Johnny, be good tonight." Go, go, Johnny, go. Go, 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 go, go. Johnny be good.
Hey, there we are. Woo!
So these are the warm-up songs. When's the show?
These are the warm-up songs when the show's starting, yeah. This is about the longest set I've ever done, I think. What's the time now? 10:30. We started at 8. Sorry, we were a bit fashionably late today. Sorry, I'm used to kind of being late. Sorry. That's 2.5 hours non-stop. Really?
We've got some very fantastic gifts coming in here.
I'll see them all later. Right. Okay, we're going straight into it.
I'll put it up on the screen, Justin, so you can see it.
No slap back on the reverb on this, just reverb. Right.
Before you play that track, I'll show you what they've been posting.
Oh, I'm going to be shown what you've been posting, apparently.
Where did I save it? It's here, there it is. Wait, that's wrong. Let's put it. give me a second. Have a drink because you look hot.
What are we doing? I'm being shown something. I'm being shown a GIF that apparently some of you guys are posting. So. Marty McFly, I love that. That's what I say on some of the gigs, especially when I'm kind of playing in a care home or something. I say with this one we can go back to 1959, but we can also, for those who aren't lucky enough to remember 1959, we're going back to the future. Sorry, a really cheesy little joke, but it kind of works. When you've got a little audience in front of you, we're all kind of hanging on your every word. That's one of the really special things about what I do, is playing in care homes. And unfortunately, I can't do it now. There's one care home who have me every week now. It's a godsend just to be able to kind of have something to do and maybe put a few pennies in the bank account. But I play in the field behind a care home, a big kind of square back on this care home, and they've got balconies and a terrace as well. And they all come out onto their balconies and onto the terrace, and I play to them for an hour as I usually would indoors. But obviously I can't do it indoors, so we do it outdoors. Thankfully, we've had good weather for the last 3 weeks. I've done it 3 times so far, and they've said they want to do it every week. So they've even invested in a gazebo for me so that if it rains, and we used it a couple of days ago because it was so bright and so hot. But yeah, no, it's really special to be able to do that, and kind of not just the big stuff, the big ego-boosting stuff where you can go into a theatre or into a big venue and get huge rounds of applause and, kind of huge kind of reception from everybody out there who just wants to have a good night. But also you go out and kind of give something to the people who haven't otherwise got a lot. And, it's a really special... You see music working at its most human level, I guess. You see... Yeah, it's quite rewarding. It's very rewarding. It's fantastic. I'm guessing we might have a few people that I've encountered on my, people I've met through my daytime work in homes maybe watching as well. Yeah. Right, we are cracking on with this one. I said we were going to get straight on and we didn't.
That's all right.
So we've got sound. We have sound.
Everybody's enjoying themselves. We're getting more terrible gifts from Andrew. Andrew Neil Dixon.
Oh dear. Right. Here we go.
Is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on now. I hear you're feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax. I need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like 2 balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain it, you would not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb. comfortably numb. Okay, just a little pinprick. There'll be no more, but you may feel a little sick. Now can you stand up? I do believe it's working good. Well, that'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is grown, the dream is gone. And I have become comfortably numb.
Comfortably Numb. I love that record. Always comes out different. You never know how that's going to go. Right, how in tune are we? That's not bad. Still in tune after all that bending. First time of the evening. Thank you very much. I'm not any good with dealing with hecklers. I'm useless with dealing with hecklers. I haven't got any lines prepared. Oh, I love that record. I've been very privileged to be able to hear David Gilmour play that live, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. It was just a bucket list moment. Say again? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, everybody. I will just quickly mention, if you have enjoyed yourselves, then if you've got a couple of pennies spare, give me a click on my GoFundMe page and help me kind of pay for the next set of insurance, because I don't want to take my car off the road. But yeah, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to just come, just turn up, set my stuff up, and actually feel as though I'm on a gig, because we're all missing it. But yeah. Absolutely, I was just going to quickly ask. You are Loud Audio. Loud Audio, based in Wincanton. No, thank you, Dan. Anybody else who wants to do a live set? Anybody else out there who, if you see this live or if you see this later on, anybody who wants to do a live set and kind of come out and maybe do something kind of and just, feel as though you're actually doing something, then Live Audio in Wincanton, give Dan a ring and I'll send him an email. That shows my mindset, doesn't it? Give him a ring. Send him an email. Send him a message on Facebook. Loud Audio in Wincanton. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. And of course, Jamie and Somerset Lighting. Not using them again? These random bits of strobe flashing all over the place. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. We're throwing one more in. Is that all right with you? Is that all right with you lot? Brilliant. No, thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for making it worthwhile for me doing it. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for... if anybody's been with me since the very start of the session, then thank you very much. I've just carried on playing music, and it's been practically a pub gig length anyway. But no, thank you so much. It's been absolutely brilliant for you to come and join me. And maybe we'll get a chance to do it again, you never know. But yeah, let's finish off with the big one. I always leave this one till last in both the Hank McMarvin show and on my general guitar show as well, on my smaller gigs. Thanks for your time, folks. I'll see you again. Take good care of yourselves. Apache.
folks.